So just had me doing that. Well, bugger it, I'll start at 7. So I did. So anyway, Belhaven's 80 Shilling. First time I've had this beer. It says here, smoothly selected, rich, smooth, rounded, 3.9%. So not too heavy on the ABV. The writing on the back says, the Shilling names typical of traditional Scots ales refer to the historic wholesale price of a cask. Shillings, 80 shillings were top shelf stuff, so only the best ingredients are used in our classic, whatever that says. Yeah, classic, 80, whatever. With 3 local malts and 2 hop varieties, creating a rich copper-coloured beer with a malty, toffee and soft fruit character. So, I'll give it a pour. I'm not sure if I have. Good evening. Just for a second then. I don't know if I clicked the unlisted or public. So, back up to Scotland for a Green King owned brewery. A bit like Marston's with their owning of breweries. So, there we go. Got it at Christmas from my daughter. Brought me the case from Green King. So lots of carbonation in this. Darkish pour. Big head. Lively little fella. Dark amber pour, if we're being honest on the pour. White head. And it's getting bigger as well. So lovely malty nose. Hint of sweetness on the nose. Good evening. And how was your wife's birthday yesterday? Did she have a good one? Wife, you're not married yet. How's Wanda's birthday yesterday? I'm just sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, the headspace went down really, really well, to be fair. Yeah, it did. Sometimes, you know, I get so bored. Last night I did 5 craft beers, all the new Asda ones. And tonight I'm thinking, oh, I sometimes get really bored of the craft beer stuff and the price of it as well. It's expensive. And, you know, we all live within our means. And I think that's what I brought over in the last review about paying over the odds for beers. Bless her. Yeah, it is good to spoil it. You know, after a year like we've all had that same year, it's nice to a bit of normality, go out for a meal, if you can go out for a meal, depending on where you are, and have a nice beer outside and some quality beer as well. Normality. You know, if anything we've learned this year, that normality is something that we shouldn't ever take for granted. In 18 months ago, we'd have all absolutely chuckled. There's other words I'm thinking of. If someone had said to us, there's going to be a full-on lockdown, pubs are going to shut, restaurants are going to shut, you'd have said, yeah, you bar me, mate. Go and do one. And then it happened, obviously. This is from Belhaven Brewery. It's an 80 Shilling. So it's a malty beer, sweet, sweetness on the nose. For me, a very, very much a traditional beer. .8%, hint of nuts in the flavour. Definitely malty, definitely a hint of sweetness, and yeah, 3.9. Yeah, I mean, first initial taste is, I mean, there's better from Belhaven. Belhaven makes some good beers. If you ever had the box set from Lidl when it came out, that was quite an outstanding box set. They're all 330ml. It was a Belhaven box set, but it was in Lidl. And the 6 beers were absolutely outstanding. Their Scotch Wee Heavy is a cracker of a beer. So I'm doing the beer. I'm supposed to be on at 8 o'clock, but I couldn't be bothered. I thought, oh, I'll just start the beer reviews now. Get them out of the way, then go sit up the arse and chill. I think 8 o'clock's a little bit late, but I put it as that so I can get some dinner down me. The worst thing is having a beer on an empty stomach, because I just get sozzled, and especially when you've had nothing to eat all day, it's not good. I've had a big dinner now, so I'm all good. So if you haven't seen the video already, Sainsbury's are also bringing out new craft beers. What an expensive time to be a beer reviewer or a fan of beers. So you've got Tesco's with their update, Asda with their update, Sainsbury's are next with their update, and there's an incoming Lidl Beer Festival at some stage soon. So it just gets expensive, doesn't it? It really does. And we were talking a minute ago about going over to Northern Ireland at some stage this year, and that's when I'll take my car this time. I'm not flying over, sod the flying. Take the car. Yeah, a bit early tonight. Yeah, I just fancied. I've got a lot of internet work to do, so I'm trying to balance the reviews in between the internet work, life, and everything else. Yeah, it's that time of the year where it starts to get quite difficult. And at 6 o'clock's too early because with food, it's too early. I've cooked the food tonight, so I managed to get it out of the way quite early. And then 8 o'clock, it starts to get a bit late. I'm going up the house and it's already getting dark. So now's a good time. She's watching the soaps. So I think I might have to change it till 7 o'clock. I always knew there was going to be some. No, I had a Fray Bentos. Fray Bentos of all things. So yeah, steak and gravy. It was steak and gravy, to be fair. A steak and gravy Fray Bentos with crispy potatoes, onion rings, and chicken gravy. Oh, hit the spot. Just nice, something cheap, simple. And I've got to say, for those who go to Iceland, there's some nice new food appearing at Iceland. I don't know if I've seen it on Scotland Wonders video or I've seen it on an advert from somewhere. But there's some, I think it's duck burgers or something daft like that. And I'm sure it must have been an advert. But yeah, some nice stuff. Iceland are making some really nice food. And it's cheapish as well. Donald Duck. Yeah, it's cheapish. Yeah. Obviously, there's no notifications because there'd be more on if there was notifications. Oh, well, never mind. They can watch it later if they want to. Yeah, I don't do hot stuff. No, I can't even go to them sort of restaurants. YouTube's notifications are absolutely crap, aren't they? They really are crap. I know this because when Craig, Kent Beer Reviews, does a live, all of a sudden, 2 hours later, I've seen it comes up. Kent was live, and I'm thinking, was it? I never even get the notifications. Good evening, Thomas. How are you? And yeah, YouTube. Bloody notifications. Anyway, nice traditional beer. Like I said, there's better. There is better from them. Oh, it's certainly live number one. Yeah. Yeah, I did the Headspace earlier, but I only did that because I just fancied the beer. I've been home 2 hours and I thought, oh, sod it. Let's neck a beer. Just get me in the mood. And then I remembered that somebody sent me some photographs of those new beers at Sainsbury's, and I'm like, flipping heck. Sainsbury's aren't even supposed to have them into the middle of May. So no, it's somebody who watches me from Instagram. Well, he never comes on live, and he messages me via Instagram. Yeah, I came on early tonight, and good evening. Get the reviews out the way earlier. I'm going to have to. I think it's going to be any time between 7 and 8 in future, because sometimes waiting till 8, then I'm already half knackered, and when you get up at 5:30, your days, it's a long day. I think it was from Asda. Unless he was from Sainsbury's. I know he's got a big Sainsbury's in Mansfield. If it's Liam Rusco, yeah. So expensive being a beer fan at the moment. It really is. The amount I've spent in the last week is silly money. It's why sometimes, it's like I was saying in the video earlier, the Headspace one, that sometimes I just feel that the supermarket beers are sometimes quite the best. Right. And good evening as well. Yeah, sometimes I think the supermarket beers, because you can get them cheap, you know, and for me, the majority of the population can't afford to be paying silly prices for beer because they're on low wages. All right, if you're not on low wages and you've got a good amount of income, then it doesn't really matter what you spend. But a lot of people haven't got a lot of money spare. And I'm certainly in that territory. The only reason I get a bit of spare money is because of gardening. I suppose it depends where you live in the country as well. Because I mean, if in Scotland, some areas of Scotland, you may get your beers because they're local a hell of a lot cheaper. And this is where travelling around's brilliant, because you get to certain parts of the country, you'll walk into a local Asda, Tesco, Morrison's, etc., and it's like 10 or 15 beers, all at £4 for £6 or thereabouts, that you've never seen before. I mean, the sad thing was that the Audi beer update was absolutely pants, and let's hope that a Lidl Beer Festival, delivers. I mean, I like the craft stuff, but when you're paying £7 or £8 a can and above, it gets expensive quickly. I mean, I might treat myself this week. There's a few Imperial Stouts by a local nano brewery. There's an Imperial Banoffee at 9.5%, and it's Wraggy Avenue territory all over, and they're a great brewery. They make some awesome beer, and I definitely want to. Yeah, I think the interaction is great. I like the interaction, and sometimes, so I've noticed this recently, that it's not about the beer. Yeah, don't think it's the best Belhaven that I've had. I've had some really, really top-notch Belhavens, like the ones in the little box set last year. But yeah, I do think the interactions are good. So, and the chatting, it's all good. And I've noticed a strange thing, that I look at the views on beers, with beer reviews, definitely, and it's not always, Carling, can't fault you there. It's not always about what you spend. I can review something that's cost me £15 and it gets like 80 views, and you think to yourself, and then you get a bog standard lager that gets like 250, and it's like, what's that about? And I suppose most people are watching because that's what they're drinking. Apart from like the new Aldi, or no, like the new Asda or Tesco stuff, this cloud water. Although, to be fair, I had that one cloud water the other day, and I wasn't impressed at all. It just did not float my boat. I know a lot of the craft beer fans will probably say, the original cloud water, but I've had a couple of the original cloud waters, and they wasn't that exceptional either. I've had local stuff that tastes better. So I think it depends on your background and what you're used to, what type of drinks you're used to. Good evening. No. When you're paying £3 a can, and with the name it's got, you see, it's like anything. When you watch a film, Carling 4X. That was way before my time. Yeah. Don't even remember the Swan either. No. I'd love to see some of these beers come back out, though. There is a place for all these beers that they released and then dropped to be brought back out. There's definitely. Good evening. It's all right, thank you. Worthington's another old brand that you don't see a lot of, to be fair. Adnam's broadside, yeah, it's not bad. Yeah. I mean, let's be fair. For the general, Castlemaine was 4X. Yes. Yeah, of course it was. Right, yeah. Yeah, you don't even see that these days, do you? It's just disappeared off the scene, as it were. So yeah, certainly a malty nose on this fella. Hint of sweetness, bit of a taste of nuts. Very much a traditional beer. You know, what was the Swan then? Where do you live then? Just out of curiosity. Adventure Beers, there's some amazing beers on there. I think he pays £9. £9 for delivery. King Goblin is very, very nice. Harp, still around. I got it in Northern Ireland 2 years ago. I actually managed to acquire a glass as well. Somewhere. As you do. Yeah. It jumped in my suitcase. Yeah. I got home and I thought, where did this glass come from? And it was all clean and wrapped in a towel. God knows. Yeah. Certainly in July. 1st of July. In Blackpool. It's my son's birthday. So we'll be over there for that, for the weekend. We'll go up on the Friday night, 2 days on the theme park, 2 days at the Big Blue Hotel. Not a cheap weekend. That's 600 quid for the weekend. Ouch. But probably get some beers, see if there's any micro pubs or tap rooms nearby. One where you can take a child, because we'll have an 11-year-old with us. But yeah, definitely want to go. Can't wait to get on Icon and Wicker Man, for me, two of the best roller coasters in the UK. That's what they used to say, didn't they? Harp stays sharp. Yeah, I had at the hotel in Londonderry where we went. We had Harp and Smithwick's. Smithwick's? Yeah, Smithwick's Irish Ale. Funnily enough, I managed to get hold of one of them glasses as well. Don't know how. These things happen. Imbibe Tap Room. Right, I'll get this review out of the way. Come back with something, maybe craft. Oh, right. I'll have to keep my eye out. Yeah, because you know the theme park's only open. I don't think we'll be lucky enough to get one of the late nights. So it'll be open till about 6 o'clock. Good evening. Yeah, all good. Yeah, sorry, yeah. Yeah, I think the theme park's Blackpool Pleasure Beach is open till about 6 o'clock. So as long as it's not freezing, because the wind at Blackpool is chilly. I mean, when we went in August, September time last year, when we was allowed, and it was Baltic. They're doing late nights in July. Ooh. That might be an idea for us to wait a week or two and trigger the late night. Because to be there for late night riding, get there and stay till 10 o'clock at night. My little and he'll be up for that. And me and the wife will certainly be up for it. And he's big enough now to go on all the big rides. Although, even I don't really fancy doing the big one again. Need a beer suggestion? You like malty beers? Well, here's one. Headspace. Nice malty beer. To be fair, good evening. And welcome, Tad. This is quite a nice malty beer as well. Yeah, I bet there is, yeah. Yeah, malty beers, Champion. McEwen's Champion, that's malty. King Goblin, really. King Goblin, Old Tom. Depends on how strong you want your malties. Oh God, that's the reason why I'm not mad keen on going back on the big one. Went on last year, did it. Not really bothered about doing it again. Yeah, Champion is high, isn't it? Depends how, the first time I had Champion, it was I thought, oh, this is ridiculous. It's just too strong for me. Now it's sessionable. So tells you what I can drink these days. It's what you get used to with drinking. Yeah, 7.3. Shipyard. Yeah, when I've had it, I don't mind it. Yeah, another McEwen's brand in the UK at least. Yeah, it's all right. It is what it is. The first drop's the killer. Yeah, and it's rough. They have replaced some of the Old Tom 8.5. Yeah, Old Tom's nice, but it depends if you can handle your strength. It is. It's if you're not used to it, then Levy. I've not had Levy for a long while. Well, I'm in the garden now. This is my shed. But an actual pub, putting a couple of pumps in, maybe at some stage. Yeah, yeah. Snake venom's a tad strong. Yeah, you don't want to be drinking that. Done that once, and I may do it again. I'm trying to think of another strong beer for whenever the time comes, whenever, if ever, the time comes when I reach 2,000 subscribers. I want to do some sort of super strong, ridiculous strong beer. That's still being produced because a lot of these beers only last. ABV 67.5%, give or take a percent. They reckon it's actually 68.5. Do you know, that's why I picked Champion up earlier, the headspace. I just fancied something different. I did 5 craft beers last night. And today I'm thinking, the amount of money they cost me, and it's all, what drink gone? And what do you get out of them? Sometimes I think the 4 for 6s, you get more out of 4 for 6 than you do for £5 a can. It's I mean, when we go around the UK, go into theme parks, I definitely want to go into all the local shops, supermarkets, and try and get whatever beers that I can't get usually back home. And hopefully quite a few. I mean, for my birthday in June, we're going down to Southampton. So you've got the shops around Southampton. I will be hammering them shops just to make sure if there's anything that I haven't already got or had. Or if I've reviewed it years ago. Yeah, yeah. I mean, around that area, I definitely want to. The same when we go to any theme parks around the country, just going to the local supermarkets and seeing what's about, especially if there's still deals. Anyway, I better actually finish this review and stop yakking and get on to the next beer. So yeah, amber pour now. There was good carbonation. There is a whitehead, very malty. A Fuller's Vintage Ale. Oh, I'd love to if I could. The second-hand price, not second-hand, but the prices if you can't get it new are ridiculous. Malty on the nose. There's a sweetness. There's a hint of nuts. For me, 3.9%, a nice starter beer. Yeah, I've had the snake venom. For me, a good beer, a malty. I've had better from Belhaven, but it was nice enough. It hit the spot. A good best bitter type beer for me. Out of 5, round about a 3.9, I'd say. Hits the spot where it should be. And that's it for this beer review. Thank you everyone for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. And I'm back in 2 minutes for those people that are still around. Cheers all. Not long. One does apologise, but I have to separate the reviews.